it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am participating in 7 Kids Crafts first ever YouTube hop, and they have released some really cute kitten theme stamps. They have 3 sets. I'm working with Kitten Frills today, but they did release Kitten Gems and Perrrfect. They all have these really cool, whimsical, chunky kind of drawn kittens. And here I'm just going to show you the size of the stamps that come in the kit or in the stamp set, and how it's pieces. It's not a full stamp like what you see on the cover sheet there. So for this one with the table and the vase, it's like 3 pieces, and then it has a little florals in the front. For the other one, it's this like feather toy and the kitten that's kind of falling, and then some foliage in the back there. So those are the setup, I guess you could say, for the images that you see on the cover sheet of the Kitten Frills stamp set. Now, this is one of those hops where it's a hashtag driven hop. So I don't have a link to the next person. What you do is you click your YouTube search engine, and you put, or your YouTube search bar, and you put hashtag 7 Kids Crafts first ever. I'll have it. It'll be a clickable link too. You just click on that and it'll take you where you want to go. So I thought it would be kind of cool to pull out an old technique. There used to be a stamp company that this was one of their selling features, that you could turn their stamps over and you could stamp kind of the solid image on the, from the back, and then you would turn it back over and you could stamp the detail with the front of the stamp, kind of like early 2-step stamping. So I thought it would be super fun to create a background here with this concept. So I'm actually using the back of 2 of the floral images that are in the Kitten Frills set, and I'm stamping them in some Lawn Fawn and some Hero Arts inks, like a coral and a tide pool color. I think it is actually called Tide Pool. And I'm just stamping the back of the stamp here in those 2 colors, and just it didn't take that long, and I just kind of did take my time, and I just kind of screwed around and stamped out a background. So how this works, and these are not exactly symmetrical, so you just kind of get that loose colored look when you do this. And I chose to do it all in colors. So you'll see over that Tide Pool color, I used this Altenew dark blue color, and then over the Lawn Fawn corally color, I used a Simon Says Stamp red. So, and I did speed this up for you. So it isn't an exact perfect background for these, but it gives you that whimsical feel of, having it all stamped and colored. And I thought it was a really cool pattern paper look to do it like this. I don't know what made me decide to do this. Actually, I do. I know exactly what gave me this inspiration. I am in lots of stamping groups, and I have some really good buddies that are also in these stamping groups, and I got a message one day that says, have you been in group, we won't even say the name, group XYZ? And I said, not today. And this person said, there is a post in there about somebody accidentally stamping their stamp backwards, like not realizing that they had stamped it the wrong way. And I was like, no, I didn't see that. That's absolutely hilarious. But there was a stamp company that used to do that. So that was in the back of my mind while I was starting this card. So after I did the background panel, I pulled another piece of Dana 80-pound cardstock. That was 80-pound that I stamped on before. And here I just stamped my images with my ink on 3, blackout ink. And I stamped the kitten that I'm going to be using, a sentiment that says, always Lynn on your feet. And I am going to stamp out 4 of the florals, 2 of each. I only end up using 3 of them. That's fine. I just threw the other one in the back of the stamp pocket when I was done. So I pulled in my hex chart, and you can get this hex chart at sandyolnock.com. I love my hex chart. I use it often. For my flowers here, the R combination is R35 and R27. So I just filled in the flower with my R35 and then put shadows in with the R27. It is nothing special. It is super, super simple coloring. I just wanted to sort of match the colors that I chose for my stamping. For the aqua or tide pool color, I did BG 23, and then I did BG 45 for the darker tone in the center of these floral images. They kind of look like sand dollars to me, but I went with flowers. For my kitten, I did kind of a light gray kitten. I've seen this colored a few other times, and I see that it is visualized as a light gray kitten a lot, and I guess I wish I would have been a little more creative and colored this kitten something fun. But I really love the kitten in the end, and I think with the bold, very bright background, the more subdued color of kitten is perfect. So I used my W markers here, W5, W3, and W1, and I just flicked in from the edges where where the cat would be the darkest, and made sure I didn't blend my strokes too much. I really wanted him to, or her, whatever it is, to look soft and fluffy and fuzzy and cute. I really wanted the kitten to look soft. I didn't want to just put this nice gradient blend in there. I wanted the kitten to look soft. So that was how I did that. And I colored the whole body, and then I realized that I had forgotten the tail. So I had to go back. And then I did darken up the shadows around the edges. And I kind of tried to flick in from the outside edge in so that I would get that tapered flick line toward the middle of the face and in the body and stuff, etc. So for the inside of the ears and the pads of the paws, I did this R00. It is super light and pretty. And then I was like, well, maybe I need a little bit more shadow. And I don't know. It was fine. It didn't need more shadow, but I added it anyway because I love to color, and this was all the image I was going to be coloring on my card. I was kind of sad that this was my design that I came up with because I love to color. So here I was like, well, what am I gonna do? So I pulled out my Simon Says stamp sentiment strips, and I die cut out the sentiment from this panel. Now there aren't dies, or I don't have dies for these. I fussy cut it. I don't mind fussy cutting. It's relaxing. It's like relaxing like coloring is to me. It's not that big of a deal. And then I pulled in this U die. I believe it's from MFT. It might be Simon Says stamp. I will double check and I will put it on the screen for you. And I die cut this out of some dark blue cardstock 3 times. I used the dark blue because I didn't really have any black. I mean, I have black in my stamping of the kitten and the sentiment, but on the whole, the background and everything is very subtle. I do have black stamping around the flowers that I colored, but here on the front, the black lines are very minimal, and the lines for the kitten are really fine lines. So I pulled out some action wobbles. Now these action wobbles are old. They are when they still had the directions printed on them. Tells you which side to stick to your image and what side to stick down, and they are the big ones, and they're the first ones that came out. I got them in an expo years ago, and I have not gone through a dozen of them because I had hit the dozen package, which was the biggest at the time, and this was a big enough image that I could hide the entire wobble behind it. I adhered down my sentiment strip, and then over it I put the word you because it says you always land on your feet. I thought that would be a really good encouraging card for right now. Then I fussy cut out these flowers. I had fully intended on adding them to the front of the card. I don't. Spoiler alert, I don't. First I thought I would tuck maybe one behind the cat's ear and, make it look like it's a girl cat. I mean, the flowers don't give it away that it's a girl cat, but I thought maybe adding a flower would. When I put them down, I mean, it looked okay, but I don't know. I wasn't sold on it. So then I decided I would add them to the inside. I've been really trying to finish the insides of my cards, and I thought this would be a really good finishing touch. You can definitely, there's plenty of space to write a message, encouraging messages. They're always long and heartfelt, and I thought just a little bit of floral in the bottom corner would be great. And then I added adhesive to the back. I did add a lot of adhesive to the back. Because it's a wobble card, they're going to play with it. Wanted to make sure that that panel was not going to come loose when the recipient got the card. And then I trimmed off, because I can never cut anything straight. I trimmed off the front, and then I lined it up in my guillotine trimmer, and I trimmed up the back just to make sure I had it all straight. And that is my card. Like I said, this is part of a hop. There are several other participants. There are 3 stamp sets, and I believe there is I guess you'll have to check out all the channels and see who's all involved. So the hashtag is #7kidsfirstever, and I absolutely want to know, what did you think of my card? Have you ever tried that technique? And did you hit the subscription little thumbs up thingy or whatever and the bell? I'd love to know. Chat with you in the comments. And as I always say, give cards generously. Bye.